Hi, my name is Pamela Walker. I'm a professor of African American history, and this is my take on the epilogue of No Turning Back. The epilogue follows Verna's involvement in the civil rights movement from 1963 on, and the major events and the larger national movement in the years that follow. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 effectively ended segregation in public spaces, and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 included ways for the federal government to enforce voting rights and impose consequences when local governments didn't comply. As a result, local voting districts were redrawn in a fairer way, and Black voters could be protected as they attempted to register. Black voters gained more representation in government, and Black employment began to expand. But some important things did not change. Housing discrimination continued, and despite some small initial changes, school segregation continued based on income and housing requirements that effectively separated schools by race. There are many different views about what happened with the civil rights movement. Depending on what choices you make in No Turning Back, you may have seen different outcomes for Verna that illustrate some ways the movement is transformed in later years. Some people continue to expand their activism to include a push for better jobs, housing, and healthcare. We see some examples of this in the outcomes where Verna gets involved in the Black Power movement in Chicago, helps Fannie Lou Hamer with the Freedom Farms Cooperative, or organizes a successful boycott of discriminatory businesses in Greenwood. Other outcomes speak to what happens when ordinary people join a cause and new opportunities open up. For example, there are professional paths where Verna ends up a journalist or a teacher, or gets involved with an African Studies program at a northern university. Although the civil rights movement of the 1960s achieved some major successes, including the passage of the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, the struggle for equal rights for Black Americans and other people of color continues to this day.